Hey everyone, Dan Cassette from the Sports Center here with another Pilates and Core Fitness class for you. We're going to start seated today, so cross your legs comfortably. Doesn't matter which leg's in front. Let your hands rest on your knees for the moment, and I want us to begin with a little roll down from seated. So imagine first that you're seated against a wall. So I want you in a nice tall vertical. Your sacrum's against that wall, your shoulders are against the wall, and the base of the cranium, where that little bulge of the skull, is also touching the wall. Now from here, breathe in. As you exhale, I want you to peel the cranium away from the wall, then one vertebrae at a time. You're coming down, head, neck. Then the shoulder blades are going to come away. So from the top of the shoulder blades to the bottom of the shoulder blades begin to peel away. Then you're going to find each of the lower ribs as you peel away from the wall. You can leave your hands on your knees or you can take them to the floor if that's helpful to create more space, and just keep rolling down. Try to get your lumbar one at a time to leave the wall. Melting your body forward. Breathe deeply. Relax in that forward curve. Then as you exhale, I want you to pull the belly muscles up and in towards you. That's going to activate your abdominis transversus. And then that's going to begin to bring you up so you reapply your spine to the wall, one vertebrae at a time. Lumbar, thoracic spine, then the shoulder blades is the top part of that, your neck, and finally the head. The cranium just comes right into that vertical alignment. And we'll go again. Deep breath, down you go. Head, neck, chest, waist, peeling away from the wall. So you're moving forward, not just slouching. Exhale, pull the belly up, reapply to the wall, but use the abs to do the lifting, not straining the back of the bum. Right up to the head. Breathe again. Descend with an exhale. Try to find a nice sequential release of the spine. Exhale, pull the belly back towards you, rolling up through the body. Right up to seated. Again, head, neck, chest, waist, body hanging forward. Exhale. Pull the belly back, roll up tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back, neck, head. One more, head, neck, through the spine, all the way down. Exhale, lift your belly, get that transversus abdominis active and supporting you. It runs horizontally across your midsection like a big belt, so just feel it supporting everything from the pubic bone right to the ribs. Take your hands just beside you in line with your ears and your shoulders. You're going to slide laterally along this imaginary wall. So I'm going to let my ear fall to my shoulder. If you're mirroring me, it's going to be your right ear to right shoulder. Let your shoulder line change, and this hand's going to start to slide long while the other hand is going to fall short. You're going to just allow your shoulders to remain connected to the wall. If you can get all the way down to that elbow, go for it. You don't have to, but that's an option. If that's a little bit too far, you can just use your hand for a little support here. Now, the transversus abdominis has you here. It's going to engage and compress towards your spine. Also, the oblique can help lift right up to that rib, and you're going to rise to neutral. Just have a moment to settle. Make sure your nose, your chin, your sternum are all in alignment. Changing sides, you're heading towards your left. Ear to shoulder. Open up the SCM. Shoulder alignment begins to go. And again, think about traveling up and over to the side rather than just slouching or compressing. Keep your shoulders along that wall, so don't let that top shoulder roll forward. Now from here, the abs, the obliques lift. You're not tensing your neck. You're coming back waist, chest, then the neck, then the head. Here we go. Right side for you. Head, neck, chest, waist, melting to the side. Breathing deep. Relax your back and your bum. Lift from the center, lift from your side muscles. Rise, right to the top. Change again. All the way over. Take a moment, lift from your core and rise back up. Let's do once more. Head, neck, chest, waist, folding into your lateral. Add the top arm now. bring that left arm over for you and reach all the way to the far wall. From here, let your torso rotate on purpose. So now the top shoulder is going to peel away from that imaginary wall. The fingertips are going to reach far and low to the floor away from you. Pull the belly up away from the legs here as you rotate your thoracic spine. Now go back to the wall with both shoulder blades. So you're rotating into the wall. Then you can lift from your center and open both arms, coming back to your seated position. Change and get the other side, head, neck, chest, waist, pelvis. Add the top arm, long lateral stretch. That's going to open you up from the armpit to the hip bone. Then from here, pull the belly up, but let the torso rotate. So really work the abdominals up away from the leg, guys. Have that support. Once the fingertips touch down for a moment, return to face the front. Shoulders on that imaginary wall. Feel your obliques support you. Open that arm and rise to seated. Fingertips to the knees. Activate your abs inward. Curve your spine backwards and lift your knees up. Shoot both legs out to the front and just extend them. If they don't get all the way straight, it's okay, but I want you to lengthen them as much as possible. Point the toes far away. Pull the belly back, even as you slide your hands and torso forward. So you're trying to bow over your legs, but keep the belly lifted towards you. And in that way, try to relax your lower back. Feel the support from your abs, activating deep towards the spine, but let go with the bum, let go with the hamstrings, let go with the lumbar, and breathe deeply. 2 deep breaths in and out, and in and out. Now roll up to seated. Flex your feet, toes up to the sky, and we're just going to do it again. So it's a modified spine stretch. Hands to the shins, sliding forward, head, neck, chest. Pull the belly up deep. Keep those heels stretched out longer than the toes. You might find this affects how far you can go. It might be a little tighter this way. That's okay. Don't overforce anything. Allow the circulation to just happen. Allow the stretch to happen with just the natural force of gravity, not having to yank, not having to pull anything. One more deep breath here, guys. Activate your abs and roll up. Tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back, neck, and head. All right, from here, I want you to just move onto your back on the floor. So make sure there's space behind you. Lower yourself into the mat. Take your palms down on the floor. From here, we'll do a pelvic curl. So the abs are going to come in, the hip bones are going to drop back, and you're going to have no gap between your lower back and the floor. This is your imprint position. Push down with the backs of your arms, but really pull the shoulders wide so they're connected across your back and low into the floor. Now you're going to add in pressure from your feet and pressure from your glutes to curl your tail between your legs and roll up to a little bridge. Take a breath at the top and roll back down. Shoulders, middle back, lower back, tailbone. Neutral spine, so it's okay to let a little gap reappear there for a moment. Then you're going to repeat. The abs pull in, hip bones drop. Peel up the tailbone. Sacrum, lumbar, thoracic spine, just to the shoulders. Don't let your knees lean out. Keep the inner thighs engaged enough to maintain parallel alignment of the legs. Down you roll. Shoulders, middle back, lower back, tailbone. Neutral spine, 2 more. Exhale, imprint, sacrum peels off the mat, the lumbar, thoracic spine just to the shoulder blades, little pressure down through the arms. Exhale, all the way down through the vertebrae to the sacrum. Last time. Engage and roll through the vertebrae to the bridge. Take a breath, roll back down. From here, widen your arms to a T formation. Feel your abs compress to hold neutral, so the pelvic bone and the spine don't want to change as you pick up that leg to a tabletop position. Little 90-degree fold from the hip, 90-degree fold at the knee. And press the abs down again, pick up the other leg, and now they match. Press the knees together so your adductors are active. Take the knees across to one side and lift this top hip so that the knees remain the same length. Keep your shoulders on the floor. Spine twist to pine. Belly button to spine. Bring it all home with your ab strength, not your back, not your legs, not your chest. Take it to the other direction. Exhale. Pull it all home. Take it to the first direction. Exhale. Pull it home. Take it to the second direction. Pull it home. First direction. Home. Second side. Home. Good. From here, walk your feet down without changing your pelvis or spine to neutral. Lace your fingers behind your head. Just cradle the skull with your laced fingers. The elbows don't want to be too wide because that's going to cause your shoulder blades to pinch. Neither do they want to be folded too close because then your shoulders are too wide and out of place. So I want them to be at a happy medium where your elbows are visible in your peripheral, but they're not closing like blinkers and they're not too wide flat on the floor. Okay, so think about wide shoulder blades. Don't let the elbows change, and that is the tricky part. Press the belly down and lift the chest and just keep the arms at that ratio. So the hands support the head, but they don't yank. And then you lie back down. So it's a chest lift. Let's go again. The abs engage, press flat, lift up, keeping those shoulders wide and elbows open, but not too far so they're not pinching the shoulder alignment, and down into the mat. Here we go again. Exhale. Chest lift, hold. See if you can exhale as you go back down. Exhale to lift. Breathe at the top without losing that firm, flat abdominal connection. Exhale. Come back down. 2 more like so. Exhale. Hold and breathe. Exhale. Down. Exhale. Hold and breathe. Exhale. Down. Exhale and lift. Hold. Now, I want you to breathe in as you twist. Exhale, return. In. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Don't change the hips or the pelvis. Keep it all about the waist. Try not to drop the shoulders back into the floor. Once you've balanced out right and left, come to the middle and lie back down. Good. Unfold the hands and place the hands on the floor beside you. Stretch your left leg out. You can widen those shoulder blades and press down with your hands. You can press down with the left heel, press down with your abs, but release your right leg into the sky and flex that foot like you're standing on the ceiling. Okay, the contact points are the arms, the left leg, and your abs holding everything firm. We're going to keep your pelvis still. Don't let the pelvic bone rock. Bring the foot across your body and then do a medium circle. Whoosh. Bring it across and repeat. Whoosh. One circle can be an exhale. The next circle can be an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The objective is to keep your abs firm and strong so that the hips don't wobble and weave all the way around. Change the direction of your circle and maintain the objective of a still pelvic bone and a still spinal connection. You can do small circles if you need to help maintain that objective. It's more important to have your core stabilized than to have a big circle. Bend the leg, put it down, take a little rest. Now it's your hands in the right leg engaged into the floor while the left leg extends. Flex that foot. Take it across your midline and exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Nice and stable in your center. Change direction, work your abs. Make sure you've got a nice stable pelvic lumbar connection. Pressing down gently with the hands and the extended leg on the floor. Good. Bend that knee, put it down, and once it's down, you can just shake out both legs and give them a little rest. From here, plant both feet for me. Take your knees into your chest. I want you to just hug them for a moment. Push your knees into your hands, push your belly button to your spine, lift your chest. So you're gonna come up to this cannonball position. You can hold on tight with your arms, get a little bicep support there. Keeping the abs planted firm down to your spine so the spine remains firm to the floor. You're gonna go for a single leg stretch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring both knees up to that parallel position. Melt them into the chest and lie down with the torso for a little rest. Take your hands open to the T formation again and return the legs to the 90-degree fold. This time envision a pencil held by your knees. You want to draw a little circle on the ceiling with your pencil. So rock slightly to the right. Go down with the legs. So you're going to release the hip flexors, not the pelvis. All the way around the bottom of the circle. Come up and lift the knees to neutral and return to center. Reverse the circle. Go to your left. Down to the glutes, but without letting your spine hyperextend. Over to the right, up and back to that 90-degree fold. Okay, so that's a corkscrew with the bent knee variation. If you feel strong and it's not going to put your lower back at risk, you can try it with straight legs. You can go over to the side, pull that belly flat as the legs lengthen away from you, bring them back up to neutral. And now it's like you're drawing the circle with your toes on the ceiling. Swoop down and around. You can do the bent leg version or the straight leg version. Make sure that your lumbar fights to stay on the floor with the ab strength so that you don't use your back or let your lumbar get into a strenuous position. Use the core muscles and the obliques to give you a nice little swirl around. One more. Around and center. Good. Bend both knees. Catch them and let them collapse towards your chest. So just another moment to rest here. Good. All right, guys, now from here, I want you to put your left foot down to the floor and take your right leg into the air. Stretch your left leg out. The leg on the ground is straight. The leg in the air can be a little bent if you need it to be, but I want you to lengthen it to your maximum. So get it as straight as you can. Your hands are going to be here behind the leg like you're reading a book. Don't let the thumbs get in the way. Keep them out of the way. Press the belly down and lift your chest. Try to bring your chest to your leg. So you can push down off the leg that's on the floor. That's different from some Pilates techniques, but this is from the body art and science technique. So Basi Pilates, belly flat. I want you to change and gently draw the other hamstring towards you. So a hamstring pull, foot on the floor, abs pressed down, chest lift, hands behind the leg. Change, 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 change. Now keep the legs going, but take your fingers behind your head and lace them there. Add a little rotation towards the approaching leg. Change, 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 change. Bend the knees into the chest. Lie the body down. Have a moment to rest. Roll towards your side. You can come towards the screen. Make sure that you can stretch out nice and long here. Lengthen the top hip away from your ribs. You should feel a little gap trying to appear here between your waist and the floor. Float the legs up to a little 2-inch hovering position or so. Keep your abs firm and flat. You almost want to think of a posterior tilt. So the hip bones are trying to draw back. The pubic bone is rounding forward. That's going to help your abs stay engaged. Use your obliques now to press your waist into the floor and lift the legs. Return to the hover. Press and down. Press and down. Press and down. Press and down. Let's go for our normal set of 8. And you are done. Keep that hover for just a moment. I want you to take the feet and beat them really quickly to just beat, 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 using the inner thighs. Hold your belly firm and keep the hovering position of the legs. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Relax, put the legs down, bend your knees up, and relax. Good. Now, temptation is to just let your belly and torso roll forward, but I want you to remain stacked, one shoulder over the other, one hip over the other. Feel the abs lift up and collect towards your spine so that you hold this position. The bones are not going to move. Just the femur is going to open in the joint. I want the top knee to open like an oyster shell and close. Open and close, but I'm not going to rock my hips around. The hip bone remains still. So the leg is working in the joint. You're working your hamstring and your rotator around the back, not the inner thighs. And you're using your core to stabilize the pelvic lumbar region. A few more openings. And rest. Stretch out the bottom leg only. Take that top foot and plant it on the floor. Open that knee to the ceiling now, and you're going to push down with that foot a little bit. Use your core to lift in the center and lift your bottom leg. It's like you're trying to hold a tennis ball between your thighs, right high, close to the pelvis. And now I want you to squeeze the tennis ball with 16 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest. Stack the legs. Lengthen out. Take a breath. Bend your knees into you guys. Push yourself up away from the floor and swing your legs towards the front. Take your feet together and toes up. We'll get the second side in a moment here. With your breastbone pressed forward so you're seated nice and tall, open your hands as though you're balancing a plate in each hand. From here, feel your abdominal muscles tuck in towards one another, almost like you're folding a robe across your middle. And I want you to rotate right and add a pulse. Left and add a pulse. It's not the shoulders or the arms. The arms only move because my trunk is rotating. My waist muscles are working. My chest is staying open. My arms are not folding into the L shape. They're remaining in the T. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Come center. Fold your heels into you. Hands slide down the shins and curve in the middle and relax. Come back up to seated for me, and let's move to the second side. Down into the floor. Lay your head on the bicep, lengthen the top hip bone away from your ribs. Find that little gap here between your waist and the floor. Now engage your abs flat and firm and hover your legs up 2 or 3 inches. You've got a nice little balance here. Don't roll forward, don't roll back. Hip bone is right over the other hip bone. And now here we go. Press and lower, and a press and lower, press and lower, press and lower. You can put your hand in front of you if you need extra balance. Press and lower, press and lower, press and lower, press and hover the legs. Now beat them together. Just little taps right between the toes. Keep the belly button to your spine. Keep breathing. We're going to add in a rhythm. You're going to breathe in for 4 and out. In, 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Down. Good. Bend your knees up. Have a little moment. All right, so don't let yourself collapse forward. Collect your abdominals. Make sure that you're in a nice neutral spine and pelvic alignment. We're going to work the rotator, and you're going to open up the top knee towards the sky and close. So the hip bones remain still. You're just working the femur bone in the hip socket. And close. Open. Close. Try to feel the back of the leg warming and working, but the inner thigh is relaxed. Keep the belly lifted in the center so that your hip bones don't wobble around. And let it all close. Stretch out the bottom leg. Take the top foot into the floor. Take a little breath, collect your abs, squeeze a tennis ball high, close to the groin, and we're going to squeeze it 16 times more by lifting the bottom leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest. Good. From here, guys, stretch out both legs. We're going to move to our belly. So I want you to roll on the mat. You're just going to take your nose close to the floor, but don't let it touch. Legs together if you can. Hands pressing into the sides of the legs. Now, I'm not going to crane the skull back. I'm not trying to arc the neck. I want to keep the back of my neck really long. So I'm going to pull the shoulder blades down towards the hips, down towards the sacrum. I'm going to lengthen the back of the neck. Now, I also don't want to work my lower back. So if you feel it pinching into your lumbar region, we need to make some adjustments. So let's start by supporting the abs, or supporting the spine with the abs. So lift your abs as though you're trying to get your belly button off the floor. It's going to feel like your hip bones are pulling away from the earth, and you're actually pressing some pressure down into the floor with your pubic bone. Now, keep that formation of the spine and pelvis, and that's going to help you stay away from the lower back muscles. You want to lift the upper back, so it's a spinal extension without craning the neck, and lower. So your sternum is lifting or stretching away from your feet. Lifting forward and down, lifting forward and down, forward and down, forward. Not using the lower back. Keep those shoulders pinned back. Down towards your hips. Lift and down, and lift and down. Take your hands now, make a little pillow for your face, and relax your body. It gets even more exciting. Take your elbows underneath you guys. And again, keep those scapula down. So hunching the shoulders up to the neck, collapsing the collarbone is not going to help us here. We're going to pull the shoulder blades back. We're going to lift our breastbone forward. Again, I'm not trying to crane my head up to see out at the level. I'm probably gonna end up looking at the floor somewhere just a little in front of me. Same story, I'm gonna lift my abs so the hip bones are trying to withdraw away from the floor, and there's pressure down through the pubic region of the pelvis. Now then, without pinching in the lower back, lift your legs off the floor. See if you can get those knees off the floor, straight legs. Shoulders and elbows pulling down and back towards the hips along the mat. Legs floating. And then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna kick 1 and 2. Little pulses, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Don't let the knees down. Keep the legs lifted, and you'll feel all that work in your hamstrings and bum. You'll feel the work in your abs as they fight to keep your hip bones lifted away from the floor. And let's breathe in, out, 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 in, out. Legs straight, legs down, torso down. Take your hands under your shoulders. Push off your hands and send your bum back towards your heels, and just collapse your elbows and face down to the floor into a rest position. A couple of deep breaths. Come up towards all fours for me. Tuck your toes behind you. Lift your belly up so the abs are supporting your hips, almost like if there was a rope around your hip bones pulling your tail into the sky. Stretch your back legs, stretch both legs. Wide shoulder blades, but press your chest through towards the floor. This is an upstretch in Bossy Pilates technique, sometimes known as a down dog. Get a nice chest and rib stretch, even as you're getting into the deltoids for a little shoulder workout. Now rise up on all 10 toes, bend your knees and lower your knees down to the floor. Good. Rock back towards both feet into a crouch. Drop your head and raise your tailbone. So you're hanging upside down. You can go for straight legs if you have that flexibility, or you can go for bent legs. Now, whichever version you have, drop your tail under, so you'll have to bend your knees if they were straight, and roll up through the spine, arriving back at the top with the head last of all. Thank you very much. That's another session from me. Hope that you're enjoying, and we'll see you another time.